This episode is sponsored by The Break Room, downtown's best spot for a hot lunch every business day.
On this episode, Cashmere Gourmet Popcorn, Auburn Community Theater, Topeka Police Department, and Positive Connections.
Folks, in the studio with us is Bill and Angie Anderson from Cashmere Popcorn, a new business in downtown Topeka. Welcome to the neighborhood and welcome to Talk About Topeka.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
I love that you all walked over here to come and be here. I think this is that's really awesome. That's what downtown's about.
And that's something we're going to have to get used to. Being able to walk over to go somewhere, it's like, whoa, this is different from us. We're used to drive everywhere.
It's fun being downtown and being able to walk to the bank and walk to get something to eat, and it's fun.
But I think what's so great about downtown too is businesses like you that kind of give it a nice, well-rounded, obviously we don't have any other popcorn stores down here, but we want to be able to have that. We want to be able to come down and shop and buy those unique gifts that are Kansas made and they're here.
And you're the owners and you work there and you're sitting here talking about your business. It's a wonderful thing.
Yeah, we left the shop unmanned. No, I'm just
right. Just left the door open.
Of
course, this is our recorded show, so if you're looking this up, you probably saw them in the news. Today was actually your ribbon cutting that you had at the store. How did it all turn out for you?
It was very overwhelming, very special, just because you have a dream and you follow through on that, and you have to learn to struggle, and today it was just seeing it all come about, and we had our girls actually cut the ribbon, and
excellent,
with the big scissors.
Because they have given up a lot also for us to start our own company. So we're very proud of them, and it was just we had a nice showing of wonderful friends and family and people that support us and popcorn and our popcorn, Cashmere popcorn.
I think now we're up to around 17 flavors and
20.
Wow.
20
We have
and
some seasonals that are in and out. Like right now we have pumpkin spice and caramel apple.
What? Why didn't you bring the pumpkin spice one?
Those will go out.
Jeez, walk back there, get us some, and come back.
Follow me.
Yes, no kidding.
The store's unmanned right now, so just go pick it up yourself.
Get what you want.
You have somebody you can tweet real quick?
Yes, no kidding. I do think this is pretty great, especially if you're going to buy multiples of the popcorn in this nice box, so you can, if somebody comes over and you need to have a quick gift, here's something, or maybe you can give this out to relatives or family that, whatever, come by. But it's something that that people can enjoy, and it's already a perfect gift.
And being both of us being raised in this area, it is kind of neat to give a gift that you can, one of our taglines is popped, flavored, and savored in Topeka, Kansas. So, that's where we created our company, and I think I'm hoping that Cashmere Popcorn will maybe even eventually become one of those destinations people go to intentionally that are traveling through the city of Topeka.
Like, we got to pick up some Cashmere popcorn.
Yes, I'm hoping, a destination that people can come and watch us make it. And I want to try to get involved with some of the local high schools in the entrepreneur classes and maybe invite them in to see, ask questions and see our process and, see the growth of our company, because we started with a 4-ounce popper. Then we moved to a 16-ounce popper. And now we just recently got a 64-ounce popper.
That's a big popper.
That is a big popper.
And then we just recently got a popper that air pops and holds 50 pounds of popcorn at a time.
Whoa.
And we started with,
we would like to come over and see how this works.
Absolutely.
Yeah. We would love for you to. We actually started with the $20 Walmart air poppers. So we have grown tremendous
Absolutely.
in the 20 months.
She's
one more
digging
question
in.
for you. I'm not going to dig in.
Okay.
Well, I might. But hold on.
They were there for you guys.
Oh, well, thank you. Well, as I start opening it up. Okay, so why Cashmere popcorn? Is it because of the texture and the way that
You've
it is?
got that.
Okay.
You've hit that, right? We've been asked that many times, but Cashmere, what sets our popcorn apart from other gourmet popcorn shops is actually the texture. The texture is very, very gourmet. It very much melts in your mouth. And so that is kind of how the cashmere came in, because of the texture. It's a texture descriptive word.
It's like unlike anything I've seen before. When you think about, we're looking at the cinnamon popcorn right now. You think of a very candy-coated looking kind of. This does not look like that. It looks fluffy. The flavor looks fluffy as well, which is
our popcorn actually. The popcorn world's kind of strange, because you can go online and see that our popcorn, our average bag is our share size bag averages 6 ounces. But if you order another popcorn, that same amount, that same volume, which is 5.5 to 6 cups, might weigh 11.5 ounces. And it's just in the way that we coat it and the procedure that we use is why it weighs less than most other popcorn manufacturers, but it's still the same amount of popcorn, and that also is what creates that wonderful melt in your mouth texture that it has.
Well, I'm not thinking about ounces. I'm just thinking about taste and yum, because this stuff is not going to stand a chance with me. It's going to be gone
no
before you're even out the door. So it looks amazing. And of course, go on over to Cashmere Popcorn, an amazing place where you can just pick up stuff right out of the store.
Yep.
Especially just before Christmas.
We have gift packs available, and we do specialty order gift packs as well.
Another very unique business popped up here in downtown Topeka.
Popped up, I get
Popped
it.
up, get it? Yeah. Pardon the puns, everyone.
We're going to talk a little more theater. I don't think we touch on it nearly enough. We have Jeff Inverato here with us, and he's from Auburn Community Theater, which is another great community theater right here in our area.
Well, nothing ever happens here, right?
Nothing ever happens.
And in fact, I've been out there. I've seen 2 plays. I saw. What did I see? Jesus Christ Superstar, and I think I saw Charlie Brown.
Yes,
out
you're
there.
Good Man Charlie Brown.
Yeah, Good Man Charlie Brown.
Yeah.
Just a wonderful place to go and see, and of course it's really nice and local, and you can even get dinner.
Yes, exactly right. Now we have, before we get to dinner, before we actually get to the shows, we're having on the December the 20th, we're having a double feature of movies. We actually have a large movie screen that we will project up there, and it's a really fun program. We're having Meet Me in St. Louis with Judy Garland, and Singing in the Rain with, of course, Gene Kelly and Debbie Reynolds, all for $5. $5 for a double feature on Saturday, December the 20th.
Oh, my parents are going to go to
Yes,
that.
absolutely. And of course, there'll be a concession stand there if you want anything, food, popcorn, that kind of stuff. But it's always a fun time, especially those 2 particular pictures are going to be very, very
Because you have to be
popular.
just right to be able to watch it on the Turner Classic Movies or to get it on Ovation.
Exactly.
But you can't exactly see, them together.
And
So
this is
that's
on
cool.
a big screen. I mean, a very large screen. We project back at the back of the stage. We have a large white canvas, and it shows up beautifully, especially in the night. And it gets very dark, and you'll be able to enjoy every minute of it.
Very nice.
So I know that you do this around the Christmas season with a Christmas movie, but you also show movies at other times during the year.
We did that this year. I'm not sure if we're going to continue it next year, but this will probably maybe our last movie, depending on the popularity. Really, it's kind of things like that.
Okay.
Well, get out there and
but
do
we do
it,
have
folks.
other plays, though.
Yeah.
We have other plays that are coming up.
Yeah.
And the first play that's coming up is Godspell.
When are you doing Godspell?
When are we doing Godspell? That's
never seen
an
that.
excellent question, and I don't have the information in front of me, of course. It's on our website, act-ks.org. I'll give you the exact date, but we have auditions coming up for Godspell. Well, actually, it's going to be in February, the actual performance. Auditions, however, are going to be on 2 o'clock on the afternoon of Sunday, December 28th, and also 7 p.m. Monday and Tuesday, December 29th and 30th. You don't have to come to every audition, just one will do, but please come and bring your talents, and we'd love to have you try out for Godspell, which is going to be sometime in early February.
It's a great show.
Well, Auburn Community Theater is quite popular because I went out there and you have it at the community center. Is that what it's called?
Basically, we take over the gym. It's called the gymnatorium, where we have a gymnasium gymnasium and auditorium put together.
I went to school at Shawnee Heights, so we had a cafetorium.
Cafetorium. All right. Sometimes there's going to be basketball games in there, and then the days that we have it, we actually have committed up that we take over the stage and put the seats out and use Herman Miller furniture to make it nice and cozy for you. It's a lovely event.
So many of these films and so many of the shows that we're showing were meant to be seen in a theater with other people, you know, and that's how they're made.
And when you're watching it on your little crappy TV,
or you're
it's
like
not
streaming
the same
it on your
thing.
phone on Netflix, it's not
Exactly.
the same thing. You do get an experience when you're around other people enjoying
and you can
it.
see everything. I mean, everything that's going on, all the scenes, and a lot of things you don't because of the compress of the television. Certainly.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, thank
Very
you
cool.
for.
Well, we're so thankful that we have, you know, the Auburn Community Theater, and of course we have lots of other theaters, but they all complement each other very
absolutely,
well.
absolutely.
And of course, you can find out more information on their website at act-ks.org, and you can see their whole lineup and all that wonderful
whole
stuff.
lineup, the schedules, the auditions, the people who are going to be in it. Eventually, they'll be on the website.
And you can write them a tax-deductible check, too.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's always good too.
And we also take online tickets. I mean, there's
that's
an online ticket
wonderful.
Very
format.
nice.
So
Very
nice.
yeah, you get there from there.
Well, cool deal.
Thank you so much.
All right,
That's
well,
Jeff
thank you.
Dorato
Yes.
from Auburn Community Theater, folks.
You can also see him at the library.
Yeah, I've
You
been there
can?
32 years. I'm a kind of a fixture myself there.
Yeah, well, you are amazing.
Well,
you are
thank
just
you.
all around such a helper. You help us with Safe Streets as well, because he's a part of the coalition.
Absolutely.
And
Neighborhood night out. Yep.
Yeah. You really get involved in the community. You like to eat that up.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
Well, I know a few people around here. Who knows? Yeah,
good
no,
deal.
it's a good thing. It is a good thing, and we have wonderful people promoting us. That's really great.
Yeah, you know it. You know
It's
it.
a village.
It's a village, exactly. It takes a village. Absolutely.
Thank you so
right.
much, Jeff,
Well, thank
from
you.
Auburn Community Theater. Of course, some great events coming up as well. Okay, so the next thing that we wanted to talk about was something that happened on Sunday evening. You were talking
Oh
about.
yeah, Sunday evening was a incredibly loud evening for the police department. You know, they had a lot of things going on. There was a stabbing, there was a shooting, there was a person hit by a car. And we look at these things as for us, we don't know. We're at home in our beds, we're sleeping. We have no idea that these things are going on. The fact that we have the police officers in this community who deal with all of that, who tirelessly make this community a safer place. You know, I was on my Facebook, and I wanted to say thank you to the police officers for doing that. And I know it's kind of at a time where it's a turbulent time for relations between citizens and their police officers, with everything that we're seeing, you know, in the media and everything that's happening just one state over. And so it really is a time where, you know, the good cops don't necessarily get as much attention as they should. And there are a lot more good cops than there are bad cops.
Yeah.
And
I think it's always a tough job. I mean,
Yeah.
we've obviously seen 3 officers within 2.5 years
Yeah.
that have passed away in the line of duty, and that is not okay.
those officers
That
have
is-
families.
Yeah,
All of the
that's
officers
not
have
acceptable.
families. They want to go home to their family at the end of their shift. And because somebody's fooling around,
Yeah.
why should they risk them seeing their families again
Yeah.
to go a little lax, you know?
And usually when these criminals are, you know, whatever it is that they're doing and they're involved, there could be something that happens in their lives, and the first thing that they do is they immediately go for all out as much as they possibly can, because that's just your next reaction. When you feel like you're trapped in a corner, you don't know what's going to happen next, even yourself. And so when a police officer when they get a call, they assume that they are going to be dealing with someone on the worst day of their life.
Yeah.
And what are they going to do?
Because many times they're not necessarily responding to calls where they're seeing people at their best.
Yeah, I
You know,
mean,
that-
it just
they
doesn't
don't get
happen. And
that.
so,
Are there bad cops?
Yes.
Most definitely. You know?
Yes,
Do
there
we have
are
a
bad-
problem with some cops and relations
but I think
among
you also
group?
have,
Yes,
you
we
have
do.
to think about what police officers are dealing with day to day.
Yeah.
They're dealing with criminals, they're dealing with things that are happening, and it's, I know that it gets racial in some situations, and it's really not very pretty. But I do think that our Topeka Police Department does such an excellent job. In fact, we should get the chief on.
We should.
Well, I'll go ahead and give him a call, because he's
Give him a call.
he's one of my pals. I love him.
Let's get him in here.
But he's a wonderful chief that is.
And Sheriff Jones too.
And Sheriff Jones, love him
Yes,
too.
yeah.
Yes, but Chief our Chief Brown, I just spaced on his name, but he is really big in community policing. So that was something that he did in Kansas City, and so that's what he's doing now. He's come here and he's brought in that initiative to, bolster up the community policing department, and so they're going to get more officers in there. And with community police officers, what they do, I work for Safe Street, so obviously this is why I know all this stuff. But
and
what
I get
they
to host
do,
their meeting every month, which is fun.
You do. But what's so great is that they're able to actually meet with people right in the community. They're able to talk with them about what's going on in their neighborhoods. People can email their officer directly, and they can say, this is what's going on. I see this truck driving at a certain time of night, or I see this person walking, down the street, and we just don't know exactly who this person is. And they can actually help build a case for their community officer, so that when something does kind of connect and it makes sense, then they can put all those pieces together. And so we can be the eyes and the ears for these community police officers, and they do such a wonderful job. We are really so lucky to have such wonderful officers like that.
Yes, we are.
And really, it really puts us steps ahead than other police departments in our whole state. Yeah. We are leaps and bounds ahead of everybody else in our state and even states around us. We talk about Ferguson, and they don't even have body cameras.
Yeah.
They didn't have those at all.
Yeah.
And really what body cameras do is it protects the officer, but it also protects the person who is in trouble with the police, the victim, whoever it is right there as well. And we have had those for years with the Topeka Police Department.
Yeah.
In fact, we're going to order more. We're going to get more of those. And it's such a big deal that...
We heard a report at the last Safe Streets meeting about the new cameras coming in for there, and the sheriff's office as well.
And a lot of times they get grants that pay for these. They've even gotten some money from just private donors that said, we feel that this is important. And so a lot of this stuff that they're getting is not really, paid for by taxes. This is just because our police department feels it's very important for the people in their area and also for their police officers to make sure that stories are straight.
Yeah.
And that when they take these to court, they are done, they are taken care of because they have the video evidence right there.
Well, and their job is to make sure that the citizens are safe and to make sure that they're safe as well. We don't want them to be in danger, and we want to limit that danger as much as possible for the folks who are trying to keep our community safe.
Yeah. And I do know for a fact, because I've done the Citizens Academy. Hello. I told my bosses at work,
That's right.
I was like...
Can you do like a citizen's arrest now?
Something like that. But I told my bosses, I was like, technically, since I'm a little more marketable now because I have my Citizens Academy training, I should get a raise. And my boss is like, what? But anyway, no, it has been such a great experience, and I learned so much about all of these officers and everything that they do. But they are very good about weeding out officers that they feel they do so much psychological assessments and everything with them to make sure that people are right on point.
Yeah.
And if they're not, then it's time for them to go.
Right.
And they really take care of their officers and make sure that they are up to the job every single day. So I think our TPD is so amazing. Same as our sheriff's office.
Yeah.
Just everybody works really hard.
Most definitely. We had a guest on our show who's joining us in the studio now to talk a while back about World AIDS Day. It's Debbie Gilbo with Positive Connections. And Debbie, you're here because we had World AIDS Day since then. And it was a big thing. WIBW did a big report. Sarah Plake, our good friend over there, did a wonderful report, spoke to a lot of people within the community about the topic of HIV and AIDS. And we want to make a 30-second public service announcement that we can air on our show that will keep this at the top of mind for people so that they understand that this is a problem. We want to fight this problem as much as we can. And so for Positive Connections, if we're making a 30-second public service announcement, what I came up with a couple of things here. Talk to your kids about this problem. Have this conversation. This is a life sentence, and it costs a lot of money once you contract it. Positive Connections offers free testing, and it only takes 20 minutes.
As little as 20 minutes.
And so what other little pieces, really quick, do you think we should add in this? We have 30 seconds to spread this message.
I think those are the high points. I think it's important to say maybe that while it is a life sentence, it is not a death sentence.
Yes.
Because that is still a big misconception that's out there, and people don't want to come in and get tested because they don't want to know. You know, we have people still that ask, when you give them a positive test result, am I going to die now? So it's not a death sentence. It is, but it is something that's going to affect the rest of your life.
So when people want to set up an appointment, do they need to set up an appointment? Do they just come by the office? How does that work?
It is generally better if they set up an appointment. I will tell you, you'll be my first to know. We're changing our hours.
Okay.
So
all right.
Effective January. It's like the 4th, whatever the first Monday in January is. We will be changing our hours to where we'll be open late on Tuesdays.
Okay.
So we'll be open till 7 p.m. on Tuesday evening, so people who are working during the day can come in and get tested in the evening after 5.
Great.
We'll be closing at noon on Friday, which is great for our staff.
Yeah.
But we have learned that we really don't want to test on Friday afternoon. Because if somebody tests positive, they're then stuck through the weekend without any resources available to them.
Yeah, that's smart.
So we'd rather test them late on Tuesday and make it more available to people. So
Now,
that is an exclusive to you guys.
What's the phone number for that?
232-3100.
3100. And the website? You have a website?
www.pcneks.org.
All right. Okay. So we have all of these pieces here, Jamie. So we're going to make a 30-second.
Do you want me to talk on it too?
I would like for all of us, really.
Oh, okay.
We're going to have and it has to be in 30 seconds. So Jamie has a clock here.
Okay.
We want to try and get through all of these points, and this is where the reality radio comes in. If you win, you get $1 million from.
Awesome.
That's totally fake.
Sweet, I'm
It would be
totally gonna
fake
win.
money.
Oh,
fake
well,
money,
darn it.
because none of us have that much. But here we go. All right. So we want to talk to our kids. It's gone from a death sentence to a life sentence. It costs a lot of money. If we have free testing in 20 minutes, you're open. Well, let's put in here to make an appointment by calling and find out more information on the website. Can we do that?
Sure.
All right, folks. Here you're getting in the behind-the-scenes tour of how a PSA is made.
Okay, here we go.
Ready? And do you want to start this?
3, 2, 1. Visit Positive Connections today.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea because we've got Debbie Gilbo here in our studio who's been telling us that you need to talk to your kids about HIV. We have had it's through the roof of infections here.
An explosion, if you will, of new infections, and primarily in kids 15 to 24.
This
It's not a death sentence anymore. It's now a life sentence.
That's absolutely true. You can get free testing from Positive Connections. Call 232-3100 or visit pcneks.org. That was it.
That was it. That was easy.
All right. See, that's how it works, folks.
Oh.
So, yeah.
Okay.
We're gonna have that out there.
I
We're
was
gonna
a little
stick that in
nervous
there.
about
we made
your
it
idea.
in exactly 30 seconds. Wasn't that pretty cool?
High
Perfect.
fives.
Yay!
We're good.
Now, the only thing people have to do out there in television radio land is to
Spread the message.
Spread the message. This is something that we can stop. So talk about it.
Yeah.
All right, Debbie,
Absolutely.
thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. I really
It was kind
appreciate
of disjointed, but I think we made it work.
I think we
Yeah.
did.
Disjointed. What do you call my segment?
No, I just us because we're like, we just didn't quite know what we were doing.
I
But
think, and that's the
I think
charm.
we got it.
That's
It is
the
the
charm.
I think
of
it is constant, just totally in our minds that we didn't know what we were doing.
Yeah.
And everybody else will go, oh man, they made
Yeah.
that work
They
so well.
made
Or they'll
that
listen
work.
to it and be like, they didn't know what they were doing. I'm going to go to this website to find out what this is really
Yeah.
about.
There you go.
That
Find
even
out.
works too. So.
Visit talkabouttopeka.com to hear full interviews of all our guests. Listen live and hear more from Chris and Jamie from 7 to 8 a.m. every weekday on The Big Talker, KMAJ 1440. And keep talking about Topeka.
I got to feed the giraffe with my mouth. And I got a little bit of tongue. And it was hot. Okay? I'm just going to say that.